This started years ago. Our deal with all our kids was we would give them money for school and they would avoid loans with interest. My middle child, Becky, is 32 now, and she dropped out the third semester when she was in college. She bounced around for a while until she came back at 23 and asked for money to go back. At this point, we were unsure since she'd made bad decisions before, so we told her we would loan her the amount and she would need to pay us back without interest. We wrote this all down and she signed it. Well, she did well and got her degree. She's making a reasonable amount and we've asked her to pay us back for years. She kept putting it off. Initially, we would just take it out of her inheritance, but issues came up. My husband isn't doing well and needs medical help. The bills are stacking up. We've talked to her so many times asking her to help and just pay us back. It's about $100,000. If we got it back, we could stay afloat. Even getting $1,000 a month with a payment plan would solve some issues. We had another conversation and she said she's not paying it back. She just bought a home and she needs to save. At this point, I got a consultation with a lawyer and I have a really strong case of winning. Am I the idiot for suing my child? Just for your information, the relationship is already destroyed in my eyes since she lied and won't help us at all. Edit, since it was unclear, we paid for everyone's first round of college. She agreed to the loan when she wanted to go back, and we didn't want to waste another $50,000 if she dropped out again. Her credits were not transferable due to poor grades. She's paying us back her second time at college. The timeline was supposed to start around 3 years ago. That's why the lawyer thinks we have a strong case, because she didn't begin when the contract asked and bought a home, showing she has the funds to do this. Not to mention all written documentation about it. Not the idiot. Yes, she's your child, but she's not a little girl. She's a grown woman. Her father is sick and she can't even find it in her heart to give you money, or even just a payment each month. Yeah, sue her. The only issue I'd see here is that you have to pay more for a lawyer, which can be quite expensive. You will lose the relationship with her, but frankly, her keeping and not paying back $100,000 loan and seemingly not offering any help while her father is sick tells me there is no relationship. At least that's how your daughter thinks. Exactly. Your daughter took a loan from you, signed paperwork indicating it was an interest-free loan, and then decided not to repay it, betting she felt like you wouldn't expect her to because daughter. She owes you the money, and it's not some piddly amount, it's $100,000. The bank would not be so understanding. Do you have a case? Absolutely. If you want to burn that bridge for the rest of your life, go for it. I think you're the idiot for doing this to your kid, but she's an idiot for not paying it back when she knew what the deal was going into it. So everyone's the idiot here. It will end your relationship. You need to be aware of that. You also need to be realistic about what you get out of her. I'm sure she doesn't have $100,000 in cash to pay you, and you will be financially hurting her future significantly to both hire a lawyer and pay you back. If she ever has kids, you'll never ever see them. If that's okay with you, then go for the lawsuit, but I still think both of you are the idiots in this situation. They're idiots for supporting their child to the point it financially crippled them to get her to a good, steady place in her life, and expecting agreed-upon payment for the second time they paid for her school. Man, that's entitled as heck to say. Opie, you're not doing this to be mean or vicious. You're doing this because you're in a position where you need the money now, and she's proven untrustworthy. After she figures out about the case, she may try to make a deal with you for the sake of family. Please stick to your guns. Your daughter wasn't thinking of family when she told you she couldn't give you anything because she needed to save. She's had years to start paying you back and hasn't sent a dime. So, for context, my boyfriend, 20, and I, 20 female, were going to a shopping centre about a week ago. This area is popular and it's always decorated beautifully and festively for the holidays. Maybe this is just me acting like a bum, but I thought it'd be cute to wear those red flannel plaid, I don't know what to call it, pajama pants with a regular black hoodie. Something about it being Christmas made it seem charming. I asked him what he thought of the outfit and he immediately said no. I was a bit surprised. He says he believes pajamas are only to be worn in the house, and to wear them in public tells the world I have no self-respect. I was surprised again and told him I have self-respect and just thought it'd look cute. He then says it'd be disrespectful to him if I wore them out while with him, which I tried to understand from his perspective. I ended up switching to a more acceptable option, grey sweatpants. Fast forward to last night. We were already upset sharing our feelings about a different topic, and eventually he brought up the pajamas again. I still couldn't believe we were still talking about the pajamas, so I was completely stunned and asked something along the lines of, "Are we seriously still talking about the outfit I wanted to wear?" Then he tells me about how it's not just that outfit, that many of my clothes are baggy and too big for me, and I look completely dwarfed by my clothes when they don't fit my form. Lots of my casual clothes are t-shirts that are too big for me. They're medium, I'm extra small or small, and even the ones in my size look big because I'm a petite girl, and some colour sweatpants. I never thought anything bad about my baggy clothes until this conversation. He says he knows I have better, really cute and well-fitting outfits, so it comes off as lazy and me not caring about my appearance when I leave in bigger clothes. Some quotes from him last night. "I want to show you off and be proud to be next to you, but it's hard when you don't put any effort into your appearance. I want you to look good, if not for yourself, then for me. I understand why he didn't want me to wear PJs in public, and I respect it, but he also just called out like 50% of my wardrobe. When I don't wear those clothes, I wear a skirt, jeans, joggers, and some slacks. But 75% of my regular shirts don't hug my body. I love this man. I want him to feel comfortable being seen with me. It's just that this hurts my feelings, mostly because I didn't know he felt this way about my casual wear. Am I just being insensitive or lazy? Am I the idiot? I want to show you off. Boom. You're his trophy. Do your job, woman." Not the idiot. He's literally objectifying you. As in, he looks at you as an object to be displayed and bragged about instead of a person with her own sense of comfort, style, or expression. Gross. Dump him. Everyone's the idiot here. You wearing PJs in public when you're older than 8 is tacky. Have some self-respect. But regarding his comments on your general clothes, I can see why he might be frustrated if he typically puts in more effort to dress nicely himself. But then he should just find someone more compatible with him, not try to control what you wear. He's suggesting that you embarrass him, and I wouldn't say I like that. He should love you and stand by your side regardless of what you're wearing. LMAO, have some self-respect. Wearing PJs can be very comfy. Why should you have a go after someone wearing what they want? It sounds so stupid. Also, wearing holiday flannels during the holiday season is pretty common. It's not like she was wearing tattered and old clothes. My wife told me the same thing once. For work, I put on a smart suit and a snazzy tie, contact lenses and clean shoes, looking good. Then I would go out with her in dirty trainers, scratch glasses and a baggy t-shirt. It made her feel like she wasn't a priority in my life and wasn't worth my effort. We should dress for ourselves above all, but I don't think that we should exclude trying to look good for our partners. My husband, 38, and I, 40 female, have been married for 8 years and have a preschooler son. 3 weeks ago, my husband's father unexpectedly passed away. It was shocking for the entire family, and we are all grieving. Because he passed away the week before Thanksgiving, the funeral was scheduled for this coming Friday. My husband is the oldest of 3 brothers, so he's taken on a lot of responsibility with helping plan the funeral, get his dad's estate in order, and help his mom with pretty much everything she needs. His younger brothers help when and where they can, but they don't take initiative like my husband. This has made my husband very stressed lately. I've done my best to be patient and understanding with him, but he always seems so angry. It doesn't help that our relationship hasn't been the best for the past 6 months. We started couples therapy about 2 months ago, but our therapist has been on paternity leave for the past month, so we haven't been able to meet with him. One of the ways my husband likes to relieve stress is through intimacy, but one of the biggest reasons we started couples therapy is because our bedroom life has been non-existent. We've maybe done it 5 or 6 times this year. Due to some childhood trauma, not SA, intimacy and showing physical affection can be difficult for me. I've always struggled with it, and my husband has been understanding, but I know it's frustrating for him. The other day, this all came to a head when he was clearly very stressed. He was short and snappy with me and our son. He ended up retreating to the basement. When I went down to talk to him, things got even worse. I tried to console him and figure out what was bothering him, but he just said he was sad and angry. I asked if anything would cheer him up, and he said yes, intimacy. I told him that I don't have an interest in that right now because I'm exhausted and have been having headaches pretty much all the time from stress. He said that he just wanted to feel something other than hurt and pain, and I told him that he was going to have to find a different release for that. He then said the meanest thing he's ever said to me. He said, "Then if you're not going to, leave me alone. You always have an excuse and I'm tired of being rejected all the time. If we're not going to have intimacy, what the heck are we even doing?" I told him that was very mean and that I understand he's grieving, but we're all hurting right now and his wants and needs aren't more important than anyone else's. I told him I knew he didn't mean that, but I will give him some space. He said he absolutely meant it. He said that his dad's death made him realize life is too short to stay in a situation that doesn't work for you, and this clearly isn't working for him. I told him we should wait and talk with our couples therapist about this, and he said, "What's the point? Nothing's going to change. I'm sick of sugarcoating this so that I don't hurt your feelings." I cried myself to sleep that night, and he's barely spoken to me since. Everything is a one-word answer. When I try to talk to him about how he's feeling, he always says he's fine and he just wants to get through the funeral on Friday and relax this weekend. I was talking to a friend about this because I needed to vent. She told me that he's probably just grieving and doesn't mean the things he said. But I'm worried that he's telling me the truth about how he feels and that he's really checked out of our marriage. I know he's grieving, but he's been such a jerk and is so mean all the time now. OP, you should start coming to terms with the fact that your marriage is over. You're not required to have intimacy with someone if you don't want to, but he's also not required to submit himself to a lifetime of rejection over and over and over again. I don't think you understand what it does to someone to be rejected constantly. It can really have an impact on them, and I think your husband is just now fully recognizing this. Marriage counseling is not really going to help here from the sound of it. Begrudgingly, you are not the idiot, specifically for not having intimacy when you didn't want to, but you are the idiot in every other way here. You're not the idiot for having issues and struggles, but you are the idiot for expecting him to go to couples counseling so he can further understand why you won't sleep with him versus you attending counseling for yourself to learn how you can overcome the issues preventing you guys from having a healthy, intimate life and stopping you from being affectionate. It's likely a lot of your problems as a couple stems from what is called a dead bedroom. I 100% agree. I get the impression that you're not in therapy for yourself to work through your issues, but expect him to go to couples therapy to come to terms with you not dealing with your issues. You asked your husband what the problem is. He gave you an answer. You said you wouldn't do it. He's telling you how to fix it and you don't want to do it. He may be grieving, but he is being honest with you. You now know what your soon-to-be ex's breaking point is. Congrats. My 31 male sister Emily, 28, was recently homeless due to varying reasons. She asked me for help and I was only too glad to help her. I told her that she could live in my house rent-free and stay there as long as she wanted. Also, I have no problem even if she lives there permanently, etc. My wife was fine with it as well. She likes to walk around in revealing clothes. Sometimes she doesn't wear a bra and at other times she has no top at all. I had no problem with her remaining there at all, but I don't like people who act like this, especially when it's my house. I never asked her not to wear such stuff if she's staying elsewhere, so I politely asked her not to do that, especially since my tween son is there as well. She got mad and accused me of controlling her, being a misogynist, and that it's none of my business what she wears, etc. I responded, "It is my business when you live in my house. If you want to do that, go ahead, but you cannot do it here. My morals do not allow that. You're not even paying anything. I told you that you can live here forever, and the least you can do to repay me is to wear decent clothes." She got mad and began to yell at me, using abusive language, etc. I didn't back down and asked her to get out as she thought it was problematic. She said, "Why, when I can live here without paying money?" Screw that, I'm not going to leave and I don't want to search for another house either. So she's still here. But I'm wondering whether it was an overreach on my part, considering what I told her. Am I the idiot? Your sister is treating you like a doormat. You opened your home rent-free, told this 28-year-old woman that she can stay forever, and she's now making it very clear she's going to do whatever she wants while she's there, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's time to make it very clear that it won't fly in your house. That you're having any doubt at all about this is sad and troubling. You're 100% in the right and any doubt you have should be removed immediately. Make it clear she isn't going to freeload and think she can make the rules. Threaten to kick her out and mean it, and don't hesitate to follow through if she calls your bluff. Yeah, to me this was more troublesome than what she wore. She basically states that she doesn't intend to leave because she's not paying rent. If I were the OP, I'd worry less about what she's wearing and more about how to get her out of my home. You have a young child in the house and you're responsible for exposing that child to mature situations, not your sister's. The no-bra thing is not something that your child should be exposed to until you and your spouse deem it appropriate. Dude, at this point, It's up to you to decide whether you want her behavior to change, in which case you have to create consequences for her behavior, or if you're going to let your son live with this woman for the rest of his childhood. The choice is yours. OP 6 months from now. My son no longer listens to or respects me. I wonder where he could have learned this behavior. I believe it's time to evict your sister now. She's displayed contempt for you and your son. I can't imagine your wife is happy with your sister's behavior either. It's miserable to live with someone who has no respect for you.